Steps to perform external services management. So we are going to see the steps to perform the external services management. The first one is create service master based on service category. Create service master based on service category. The transaction code is AC03. AC03. Click on create new service. Click on create new service. So here you'll get %_1. Let it be like that. When you save it, you'll get the activity number, that is service number. So here I will enter the description of the service, oil lubrication of the DG set. Oil lubrication of the DG set. And select the service category what we created, DG set services. Then base unit of measure. So services are measured in seconds, minutes, hours, days, years, etc. Press enter. Then the material group and the valuation class are standard for the services. The material group and the valuation class are standard for the services. Press enter. Save. The moment when you save, here in the activity number, you will get the service master number, whatever the number ranges you have maintained. Just 1 second. So create a service master AC03. Click on create new service. Lubrication of the DG set. So DGC services, base unit of measure, material group and valuation class are standard for the services. Now you save it. When you save, here you will get the activity number, that is service master record. Now see here. So from where you got this number? Because we have maintained the number ranges. Like this, again I will create another service. Click on create new service. Filters replacement of the DG set. Then select the service category, base unit of measure, material group, valuation class. Save. Again click on create new service. Nozzle screening of the DG set. So similarly, you can perform. Again click on create new service. Turbocharger oil filling. Base unit of measure. Press enter. Material group and valuation. Click on create new service. Crankshaft inspection. Method group and variation class. So like this you can create as many services as you can. Now, so here I took 5 to 6 services so I can able to remember what are the services are involved in that machine or equipment. Suppose if there are so many services, let us say, then it is not so easy to remember the services. Therefore, all these services are maintained in the catalog. Then what happens whenever we are creating a service PR or a service PO, we can get all the services or we can get back the services from the catalog. We can collect the services from the catalog. So even we can call this service catalog as a model service specification. So it contains a series of services in the service catalog. The transaction code is ML10. So for example, I create a service category ZSV1 and the service category what I created SC01. Press enter. Service catalog for DGset services. Click on services tab and here enter the service number. Enter the service numbers and quantity. Save. Then create a service PR. Create a service purchase requisition. Same transaction code ME51N. Header. Enter the text information. Then in item overview, account assignment category, K cost center, item category, D service, description, material group, plant, there is no store location, purchasing group and purchasing organization. Press enter. Press enter. Next item details. In item details, you'll get a note called services tab. Under the services tab, click on service selection. So here you need to select the option model service specification and enter the service catalog what we created. Enter the service catalog what we created. Press enter. System displays the list of services. Then select the line item of the services and click on services tab. Select the line item of the services and click on services tab. Then you have entered account assignment category K. So here enter cost element and cost center. For each service line item, we need to enter this cost element and cost center. Then after entering this, gross price, that is nothing but service charge for each service. Good. So gross price is nothing but service charge which we are going to pay to the supplier. Save the service PR. So purchase requisition is created. Now take down the PR number. So create service PO from service PR ME21N. Create service PO from service PR. So ME21N. So go to item overview, and in the item overview, if you drag the screen, here there is a tab called purchase requisition tab. Enter your service PR. Enter the service PR purchase requisition. Press enter. Then enter the vendor, that is service vendor. So automatically the system will take the information from the PR. So click on check and save the service PR. And save the service PO, sorry. Now from service PO, we create a service entry sheet. So next is create service entry sheet from service PO. Create service entry sheet from service PO. ML81N transition. ML81N. Click on other purchase order. Enter service PO number. Press enter. Then click on service entry sheet. Click on create service entry sheet. Enter short text. Then again click on service selection. Click on service selection. Then the system automatically displays the service catalog and your service PO number. The system automatically displays the service catalog and service PO number. Press enter. Press enter. Then again the system displays the list of services. Now in the purchase order we mentioned all these services. For example, if the vendor has performed only certain services, then you can only select those two services. Then the payment is done for these activities only. In the service view, we have mentioned all the services, but the payment is done or the services are performed only for two. So we'll select those two services. Select the services and click on Services tab. Click on Services tab. Press enter. And here you can see you got the service entry sheet number here, but it displays no acceptance. So click on this flag icon, that is accept. Click on this flag icon, that is accept. Then it displays will be accepted. It means the company is accepting the services. Now finally save it. Now it displays accepted. It means the service vendor has physically came and he has rectified all these services where the company has done acknowledgement. Now once it is accepted, again as the service entry sheet we create invoice, that is payment to the vendor. So create invoice with reference to service entry sheet. MIRO, MIRO. The transaction code is MIRO, MIRO. So go to the invoice screen, MIRO, and here select the options under basic data tab, invoice date, posting date, and tax code should be 0i input tax. In the basic data, invoice date, posting date, and tax code 0i. And in the PO reference tab at the bottom, instead of purchase segment, select service entry sheet. Select service entry sheet. Beside that, enter the entry sheet number. Beside that, enter service entry sheet number. The moment when you press enter, automatically this was a balance, that is service charge to be paid to the vendor and the service vendor. Who is this? So this 670 euros is the service charge we need to pay to the vendor. So enter that, press enter. Enter that amount and press enter. So finally save. So get any message. Tax code also exists. Okay. So in the item details also maintain the same tax code here also 0i. Save. So invoice document is created. That is service charge paid to the vendor. So like this will perform the services for external services management. So first is what all the services are involved. We create a service masters based on the service category AC03. Then all the services are placed in the catalog, that is create service catalog or model service specification. Then we'll create a service PR, purchase requisition. Then create service PO from service PR. Then create service entry sheet from service PO. Then finally create invoice with reference to sufficiently shipped. So these are the steps involved to execute the external services management. The next topic is pricing procedure, or we can call it as a conditions or price determination process. We call it as a conditions or pricing procedure or price determination process. So far, whenever you are creating an info record, request for quotation, purchase order, contract and schedule agreement, we are maintaining certain conditions like gross price, discount, surcharge, freight, etc. Okay, and those are all the SAP given standard condition types. So whenever you create a info record or a purchase order, so we are supposed to maintain PB00, the condition types RA01, ZA01, and FRA1, etc. So these are all the standard condition types given by SAP. So we are maintaining the existing condition types. So whenever we are creating a purchase order for a material or for particular materials or a group of materials with multiple suppliers, suppose we are purchasing a material with multiple vendors. Therefore, the conditions may be same for all the suppliers and may not be same. So whatever the conditions and terms and conditions and net payment is maintained to the first vendor is totally different to second, and it is totally different to third, etc. So here what happened? The conditions are not same to all the suppliers. The conditions are not same to all the suppliers. So far we are following that same one. So far, whenever you create an info record, purchase order, quotation, contract agreement, we followed the SAP given standard condition types to all the suppliers, whoever the supplier is. Now here, whenever you create a purchase order for a particular supplier, let's say, the system has to give the option in such a way that he can select the appropriate condition types from the pricing procedure. So what happens here? The conditions are going to vary from supplier to supplier. So what are the conditions maintained to vendor A may be different to vendor B, may be different to vendor C, D, E, F, etc. So therefore what happens? When you create a order for a particular vendor, then the system has to display what are the conditions you maintain to that vendor. For example, when I create a purchase order to another supplier, so the system has to display what are the conditions you have maintained to the supplier. So like this, the conditions are going to vary or it may be different from supplier to supplier. So whenever we'll go to this concept called pricing procedure, here we can have the condition types or the conditions and we can maintain to multiple suppliers. It may be same or it may be different. So using this pricing procedure, we are able to maintain the conditions differently and varies from supplier to supplier. So this we'll see in the tomorrow class.